When working with players and helping them grow and develop in the game, a question every coach must ask him or herself is, am I teaching this player, coaching this team to be successful only under my system, under my beliefs, under how I want them to play? Or am I coaching them and teaching them to be successful in any situation, regardless of how they're being asked to play within the rules and the format of the game? And it's a very important question to think about because each coach, each program, everyone has a different way, a different approach of, developing players, what they feel is right or wrong, and how we come across to those conclusions often based on what we learn or don't learn as coaches as we continue to grow. A lot of it has to do with our own biases of how we were coached or how we played the game. All that influences how we teach the game to others. But it's important to make sure that we are not letting those preferences and biases kind of cloud our glasses as a coach into really doing what is best for each player and really deciding what that player needs. Not just when they're playing for you or playing within your program, but when they leave your program and move on to the next team, the next coach, the next level of competition. Are they going to be prepared for what the next coach asks them to play? And obviously, within the game, there are fundamentals and basics every player should know, but we have to be careful that we are not asking them to play just a certain way because we think that's right. And if they get into a situation where another coach is asking them to do something different, they're not going to know how to respond. They're not going to be able to handle that well. From a technical standpoint, from a tactical standpoint, they have to understand and develop, a well-rounded understanding of the game, so they can be successful in all situations. If you're working with a player from a technical standpoint, helping them how to strike a ball, how to receive a ball, how to dribble with the ball, are you doing it in one very specific way that you think is right? Or are we really looking at the player and deciding based on, their physical makeup, kind of where they're at, what their strengths or weaknesses are? What's the best way for that player to learn and develop those skills where they're going to have more success? I'm 5'5". I'm very not the tallest person you ever meet. Are you training me as a player the same way as a 6'3" player on how to receive and strike a ball? That might not make a ton of sense because both of us are going to have, different strengths and weaknesses based on our height and our body makeup, and probably going to have to figure out a way to do both of those skills a little bit differently that matches up with the way we're built. And it's the same thing with playing with the game. The game's going to evolve over time. Are you ingraining a very certain way to play with as such a absolute right or wrong that a player who gets into a different environment, has to do something different, isn't going to know what to do, or is going to be so adamant against playing in a different way that they're going to be kind of set up to fail. So the point is that when you are training players, you're not training them just to be successful in one situation. You're trying to train them and develop them to have the tools they need to be successful in the long term, to figure out what works best for them and analyze any situation and try to come to the right conclusions, not just your conclusions, because in some situations your approach might be right, in other situations it might not be right. So what we're trying to do is help players become and develop, to be self-thinkers and continue to educate themselves and work hard at the game and be able to have success in every situation. So it's a very important question to ask yourself as a coach, as a parent. Are we developing and teaching kids to be successful in just one situation, or we give them the tools to have success in all situations, to find their own way of doing things that help them have success, not just now, but in the long term?